This is me, Jin, 21 years old, computer animation graduate, brother, lover, friend, and a loser. Or at least, that's how I've been feeling during the last couple of weeks. But why? How did I get myself here? Hello everyone and welcome once more to my channel. I don't really know how to start this conversation, but if I was being honest, I feel like I haven't been honest enough at being honest with you. Okay, so in the past, I feel like I have been open about my feelings and my situation, and although I was being sincere, today I want to address the source of many, if not all, my problems, and that is high expectations. Probably most of you guys know what high expectations are or how they feel, but in case you need a refresher, high expectations are difficult to define and also a trap that you can easily fall into, and a perfect way of feeling dissatisfied and constantly feeling like you are not enough. Most of us have probably felt at some point in our lives that things are not turning out the way they should. We were supposed to be more successful, we were supposed to have accomplished that thing by that date, and we were supposed to be happy. That's a hard one to swallow. The most common path that leads to chronic dissatisfaction is expecting something in return for our sacrifices or for our efforts, and when the result we get doesn't meet our mental construct, our expectations, we feel like we have been lied to, we fall into frustration, we fall into sadness, and we feel like losers, like we have failed at life. A perfect example of this that probably you have experienced is going to university. I don't know why, but the media has done a perfect job at describing this chapter of your life as this sort of fantasy land in which your life is really supposed to start, if you think about it, in which you will have fun 24/7 and meet all of your new friends, and supposedly you'll meet the love of your life. Although we can all agree that it is a sort of iconic, memorable moment, I definitely won't forget my experience. It's not that great. The truth about it all that we all realize at some point is that it is so hard and it is so difficult to accept this reality after we have been hyped up our whole lives. You have to grow really quickly, you have to step into adulthood, yikes, and also deal with the fact that the primary reason why you are in uni is because you are learning and educating yourself, and you're also paying for it, which I forgot about that. I am in debt. You will also have to hang out with people you don't necessarily appreciate. Let's leave it like that. Okay, but the main point that I was trying to make here is that it's perfectly normal to feel dissatisfied. It's perfectly normal to feel like you have been lied to, because, as I said, we have been hyped up for our whole lives, and then it's not that good. Doesn't mean it's horrible, but it's not amazing. Thankfully, with time, we move on and we accept the reality. I feel like it's also part of the learning that you have to make in that chapter of your life. I'm talking as if I was 42, but I'm like 21. I just recently graduated, but I for sure can tell you that I feel like the university experience is overrated. Period. I want to know what was your experience like. Maybe it was completely amazing and everything that I have said doesn't apply to you, but normally for most of us it's like okay, or at least for me it was okay. You know, it was sweet, bittersweet at the end because of COVID, but definitely it wasn't this fantasy land where all my dreams came true and where casually one day I bumped into the love of my life and the rest of it is story. Like, you know, life goes on. So the truth about expectations and why they are so dangerous and at the same time so addictive is because it feels so damn good when we get what we wanted, and slowly but surely we grow into always expecting the same thing when some stuff you may never get it or you might be waiting for a longest time. I can describe it as like conditioning our happiness. We become unable to be content with the stuff that we currently have, and we think that if we looked like Kendall Jenner, all of our problems would be gone and we would finally be happy. And although it's hard to believe, that's actually a lie. It is in human nature to always want more, and to some extent I would say that capitalism is also a contributor to chronic dissatisfaction, but that's a topic of discussion for another day. Now let me tell you a story about a graduate who moved to London amidst a pandemic, expecting to get all his life together and become a fully functional, economically independent adult in a period of 3 months. And yes, in case you were wondering, that's me. Recently, I feel like I have finally decoded the pattern of thought that makes me feel like a loser when I don't achieve everything that I expected, which it may be a lot. First, after comparing myself to other people on social media, Instagram, and now LinkedIn, I start feeling more like shit because I haven't accomplished that thing that I was set to do, or I am nowhere near getting it, which that sucks. So what do I do? Good question. Interestingly, I start hyping up myself with self-help and motivational quotes, and I feed my brain with this idea that I can be whoever I want to be and I can do whatever I want to do.
Nothing is out of reach if you work hard enough.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the main problem of self-help content. It always starts from the place that you need to change or fix something in your life instead of teaching you how to actually be happy with whatever you have. Like they find a problem for you that you have to solve, and now you realize that you have reasons to be unhappy. I'm getting passionate. Going back to what I was talking about, the second part of this horrendous cycle is, after gathering this volatile sense of motivation, I pour my energy, blood, tears on whatever matter is at hand, subconsciously expecting something, a reward in return. Because remember,
nothing is impossible if you work hard enough. Just keep on pushing.
And guess what happens in the end? I burn myself out, knock myself out indeed, and I'm back to square one. You don't have to worry, though. After extensive research, several epiphanies, and 2 iced coffees, I finally found the solution. And that is not to expect something. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Bye! Okay, there's more to it. You know, something that I have learned, even though life doesn't always go to plan and it's full of challenges and tribulations and all of that, that doesn't mean that we should stop working towards our goals. But we have to be aware that we can be happy regardless. And it all comes back to not conditioning our happiness. I'm gonna get serious now. The way of getting rid of expectations, or maybe not being a slave to them, is to push to be the best version of ourselves without expecting an outcome. But there's a catch. It's easier if we love the thing that we are doing. And that requires a lot of soul-searching and brutal honesty. And yes, before you ask, I am still going through the post-uni graduate career situation, and it's messy. I think it's quite paradoxical and at the same time funny. Well, I guess that's life. That the only way of getting rid of dissatisfaction and find happiness is to never expect your dreams to become a reality. And that may sound controversial, it may sound pretty harsh. You know, I feel like it doesn't mean that we have to settle down for mediocrity, but at the same time, we don't need to hold ourselves to extremely high standards and set ourselves up for failure. Imagine all the spare energy that you'll get if you stopped trying to control the outcome. Okay, that last quote might have been pretty cheesy, but I feel like it's true. But I want to add on top of it, as one of my friends reminded me gently the other day, is that the journey is a reward and to be grateful for whatever you have at the moment. Hashtag blessed. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed Unexpected Motivational Gene, although nobody asked for him really. I felt like I needed to get more real with you guys, and also I want to try different kinds of content. And I have to say, I didn't exactly know what to film for this week. Anyway, as always, please remember to subscribe so then you don't miss any of my marvelous content, and to follow me on Instagram and TikTok at GeneEst. I'll see you guys next week with a new one, and bye!